Bitcoin is in the midst of a relief rally. Now, this is great for the short term. Is this pump going to hold up over the long term? We're going to talk about my thesis, why I do think that this short term price action does not necessarily mean that we are out of the weeds or out of the mud yet. I think there will be more tumultuous price action. And ultimately, I do think we go lower. However, I do see short term upside and some pretty good opportunities across the market before we do see more downsides. So let's jump right into it. No intro today. We're just going to cut to the chase. It'll be a pretty quick video. If you're new to the channel, my name is 𝗛𝗀. We go live and have videos here 3 to 5 times a week on crypto and prediction markets. So like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more every single day here on In the Game. We have you covered across both markets. And of course, a big shout out to Gravity. We're looking at the charts here on Gravity, one of the best perps decks in the space. And also, we see people on Twitter saying that they found ways to pay their API bills, moving some of their funds on Gravity, and you can earn 11% APY through Aave lending plus platform fees. It is a pretty good proposition. During a bear market, it's hard to make money for any user. Doesn't even matter your skill levels of trading. This is a great way to just park some money and earn some APR. So check out Gravity down below at the link in the description. Let's go ahead and jump right into the action. It's interesting to note, the Bitcoin chart does look pretty good here, but we're literally just looking at a 1% gain over the course of the week. We did have 2% wiped off the board this morning on the Bitcoin chart. So we'll really see if this relief rally is here to stay. For the most part, though, I think that, look, we're getting some bottom signals. We're starting to get bottom signals. Now, this is not going to be the bottom. I really do ultimately believe that. Just to cut to the chase, I think that long-term, this price action, the short-term price action is probably a trap. I think that the bear market is still going on. I don't think that this is the catalyst to turn back around the Bitcoin price action, etc. But we're seeing some bottom signals. We see 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 release his expose on Axiom, which is a meme coin trading terminal, saying that there was insider activity. One of their employees was, doing some dodgy stuff behind the scenes. We see a lot of people capitulating into other industries like AI or whatever the case is. So there's a lot of bottom signals across crypto Twitter and on YouTube, people saying that they're, selling their portfolios or whatever the case is. And that is a good thing, but there's still a lot of looming catalyst in the economy. We do see that, the housing market, Google Trends are showing that more people can't sell their homes. They need help with their mortgage. I mean, the broader economic landscape still needs to, I think, pop and have lower interest rates come through the door when we do see a new Fed chair. I think there's catalysts around the corner that could really mark a local bottom for a risk asset at the level of Bitcoin. I think that it's so on the risk curve that this pump right here, what we're seeing in the market, and we'll go back to the charts here just to show you guys. Look, it's been great. If we measure this bottom from 62K back on the 24th to where we are now, yeah, it's a 7.5% gain. And maybe we do see some more short-term relief. I do think that there's broader things in the economy that do need to pop. Like I said, though, look at the trends here. The amount of people, struggling with mortgages or whatever the case is. Cost of living is higher than it's ever been. And that's across the board. So I think that economically speaking, I don't think it's the time that people are going to be dumping a bunch of money into risk assets. So to me, short term, probably we do see a little bit of relief. But until we get out of the weeds here on the longer term chart, let's just zoom out a little bit. We probably need to hit these levels back here in like 72,000. This was back on the 6th. And then back here on the 15th at 70K. These are some levels that are key to me. I mean, if we could break through 70, that would be a pretty big landmark, I think, for the short-term price action. But ultimately speaking, I do believe this pump will end up being a trap if you over-leverage yourself to the long side. Now, like I said, not financial advice, but I would just play it cautious. And to me, this is why you have to have exposure in the market at all times, right? What if it is the bottom? Your portfolio can ride up from here. However, if you just are speculating on longing and shorting, I think that's the recipe to get wrecked at this point in time. And so that's my thoughts on the market. I do think that we probably see some relief. If you want to look at some good altcoins, Bittensor's under $200. That's insane to me. Hyperliquid at $28, a pretty good proposition there. We're seeing stuff like, Immutable X at 16 cents, down 30% on the monthly. And the reason I bring up Immutable X is we are seeing some crazy stuff in the gaming space right now. And unless your, timeline's not too crypto gaming privy right now, the power token is up 1,500% over 90 days. Now you might think like, Hustle, you've been privy to crypto gaming in the past. Why haven't you talked about this token? Well, there is no liquidity. So this is getting crimed. There is no reason this token should be doing this. And as Inhuman points out, the power token, anyone promoting this is exposing themselves for not being able to check on-chain metrics and identify a honeypot. People are literally not able to sell this token on-chain. So it's complete crime. There's like 200K liquidity and it's at like a $2 billion FDV. So I've gotten questions about this. I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole. If you've done leverage trades on this, congratulations, but still a lot of crime going on with the power token. And then looking across the board at what's around the corner, we have Xborg's team launching Proper, which is a fair prop firm. So it's a funding mechanism. You can trade. If you show your skills, they'll give you funds, and it's built on Hyperliquid. So I'm really excited about this. And their token launch is the exact same way that Xborg launched, which actually did a 4x plus after it hit the open market. We also have Onsite. We talked about copy trading on Polymarket earlier this week. They just opened up their mechanisms to 10 plus blockchains to be able to have compatibility and copy trade on Polymarket. So if you missed that video earlier this week, I've been really dialed into prediction markets. And it's something where I'm making way more money on prediction markets than I am in the crypto markets currently. So it's good to kind of have that balance at this point in time. But overall, I do believe that this pump probably erases itself over time. Maybe a short-term opportunity for some upside, maybe catch some local bottoms on some tokens. But otherwise, I'm not too sold that we are out of the mud or that this is the end of the bear market, for example. I really do think that this pump will be short-term, maybe end up being a trap if you over leverage yourself, which is why I always recommend to at least have some exposure into the market so you can catch some of these swings on your liquid spot portfolio. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. The one thing I'm going to say, if you're not in the prediction market discords, you need to join down below. It's completely free. I give all of my selections. We have monitors that track the best P&L wallets in all of prediction markets, and it's all tracked on chain, can't be faked. And we have members that are literally posting. They've already doubled their prediction market accounts just with the information we're providing. I have a private live session tomorrow, also in the Discord exclusively. So come check it out down below in the description, and I'll see you guys on the next video. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Play well, my friends, trade responsibly, and stay bullish, my friends.